Content Catchup.
Friends and bloody enemies. I don't know what you've done to deserve this, but we're back for consecutive Sundays, I think it is. But welcome to Content Catch-Up, episode 17 of season 4. Julian, welcome to my show.
Always welcome to your show. I actually thought last week was episode 17, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Oh, was it?
I don't know. Probably. Maybe. Who knows?
Oh, we're here.
2 weeks in a row, eh? What a good time to be alive.
Someone try and stop us.
I mean, I don't think anyone's trying to stop us. I just also don't think anyone's trying to enable us.
Yeah, it's probably a bit of both. But Mother's Day, happy Mother's Day, Jules.
Thank you.
I don't know why I'm wishing you that, but
Well,
how are we? What have you been doing today?
So look, to be honest, I did. It's a big week of birthdays, May. Always around Mother's Day. So my sister's on the 9th. My uncle is on the 10th, and it was his 60th this year. So a bit of fanfare around that. Then it's my mum's on the 11th, and Marnie's mum was yesterday, so the 13th. So it's a big week of family, right? Like big week of seeing people. We went out for dinner for Marnie's mum's birthday last night, and my mum's birthday we went out for dinner on Thursday. So politely, I said to my mother, "Look, Mum, I don't really have anything else to offer at this stage. Are you happy if we just like don't do anything big today?"
Okay. And Miriam was all right with that?
Miriam was fine with that. I think Miriam had also had enough of me at this stage, so I think that was more than fine.
I think that's safe to assume.
That being said, I went to pick up the car this morning because
have you just dropped out on me?
Oh, I'm offline, aren't I?
I can't hear you. Oh no.
I'm back. Hold on.
Oh, there he is.
I'm just gonna check this back and it's straight into low data mode. Let's not fuck around here.
Did you know? So on that, it must be a bit of Mum's month because my mum's birthday is at the end of the month, Jules. So Mother's Day, both our mum's birthdays, Marn's mum's birthdays, and of course Mother's Day. Oh,
it's too much, isn't it?
Well, I mean, they're entitled to their own birthday as well.
No, I don't think so. I think if you're having a Mother's Day, that's all you get. You know, you get what you get. You don't get upset. But so I did happen to run into my mother this morning anyway, because her and my dad so happened to be on Sydney Road as I was running some errands. So I did have a coffee with her this morning, which was
great,
unplanned. But like, there we go.
That's nice. Well, I hope you ended up getting her something for Mother's Day because you can't forget where you came from, Jules. Julian. Quite literally. Yes. Haha.
Haha. Yes.
I'm good, thanks. I mean, fuck, we've spent the first 10 minutes talking about you. Let's talk about me. Come on.
It's a change, isn't it? Come on, what did you do?
Actually, I'm uncomfortable.
So you also didn't see your mother today?
No, so she lives up in Corranborough, an hour and a half from me. So we saw her last weekend. She came down to our place, but as you know, Darren he's actually in Croatia now. So we're going to wait till he gets back from his little holiday with Jess, and then we'll catch up together. But no, we got her some flowers and chocolates delivered. We did the right thing. And then we also sent her a voucher for her favorite art store. So I still did all right.
Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. Was this all tied into her birthday as well? Like, did you do a joint present? Just separate stuff?
We'll get her something. It's the 31st of May, so we'll get her something at the end of the month.
See, me and my sister just pulled it all into one present, and we thought, that's enough.
But if yours was literally during the week, I think that's fine.
Yeah, and also, like, we just put, like, we always get mum a voucher, so we just put, like, a little bit of extra money into it, and we're like, well, this is Mother's Day and your birthday, and that's that.
Yeah, that's fair enough. But also, Jules, we were discussing a bit before we started recording. I went to Pancake Parlour this morning because I'm a 13-year-old child, apparently.
How was it? How was your experience?
It wasn't bad. Like I was saying, I don't know when the last time you went to Pancake Parlour is, but it's probably a good 10 years for me. But no, I had a nice what was it? Bavarian apple cider strawberries, bit of ice cream in the morning.
Very delicious. Nice. So you had dessert for breakfast, is what you're trying to get at here.
Yeah, well, I did, and so I've got one bad memory growing up from Pancake Parlour because one time I went there with a couple of friends because I've got a few friends in this world.
I know, you're a very popular man.
Yeah, so you know how they've got the when you get a certain pancake and they've got the ball of butter in front of you, it can sort of look like ice cream. I once just scooped half of it because I thought it was some delicious vanilla ice cream. Just
Oh
ate it
no.
whole, and it
Oh
was
no.
disgusting.
No.
So I've got bad memories of that place. Maybe it explains why I haven't been there for 10 years.
I don't think that's their fault though. I feel like that's your fault for not
Oh, no,
for
no, it's my fault, but it's still a bad memory.
I haven't been to the Pancake Parlour since. Look, there used. This is like dumb, but there's one in Melbourne Central, like opposite a bar we used to go to when we were like 21 or whatever. Um,
Legends.
yeah, legends, party legends. And it is open late. So like, if you're hungry and there's nothing else open,
That's
you
good.
would go to the Pancake Parlour. But it's not that great, is it? Like, it's just
No,
pancakes.
it's just pancakes. An early controversial call. Pancakes are overrated.
Nah, fuck you. Nah, I will fight you on that.
Okay. Well, I mean, I would have said that. This has always been my stance. I will say this morning was quite good, but as a whole, unless you're going to be naughty with ice cream, I think they're overrated.
I think you're fucking overrated.
I don't think anybody rates me. All right.
Hmm.
Catch up, week in review. What else have we got on here? I put on our run sheet. Listeners, bad time to be a content creator at the Blues. Ha 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 ha.
Jeez, you're supportive,
How's
aren't
laughing?
you? Just need more supportive
Nah.
friends like
So
you.
you know where that comes from is just that obviously things aren't going swimmingly for the Carlton Blues, and it's just it'd be hard to get content across the line. Is where my head was at.
Yeah, we got some passionate supporters is probably the word
Very
to
passionate.
say. I won't comment too much, but look, it does get difficult, doesn't it, when you're busting your ass and like you've got all these ideas and you're kind of like, well, yeah, what's the point of pushing them out
Creativity
if
as
the
well.
yeah, if only the vocal minority are just gonna slam them. So at the end of the day, it's the fan that suffers, really, in my opinion, because you're just
Yeah.
getting nothing because you're you're just being fuckwits online. Like, yeah, I get
Yeah.
it's disappointing, but we don't have anything to do with that. Like,
No,
a-
but I
and
mean,
the
yeah, they're gonna tear down anything you do. Sorry, go on.
yeah, and I was just gonna say, like, the 10 minutes that we might interview someone or like, make a graphic or whatever it is, like that's not detracting for them from their training or whatever they're doing to prepare for the game. It's not like, yeah. Anyway,
No,
I've got
but
so many thoughts on that, and I'm sure we've discussed it before, but it's just silly.
it's unfortunate because it's all we're both used to, really. Like we had like maybe I don't know what you've had, but I probably in the best era that I was in Carlton, maybe like a 3 to 4 week block where we were going all right, and
Mm,
that sort of things are up and about. In terms of on the field results, I never personally felt that off the field. Like the office didn't feel too different when we were going poorly, but it's all Carlton digital people are sort of used to.
yeah, it's all yeah. It's just the highs and lows of sport, isn't it? Yeah, you don't
It
have that
is.
anymore. It's always high at fucking Hoop City, isn't it?
Good advertisement for it.
Yeah, thank you.
Um, yeah, but that's all right. We're here for you, Jules. I just
Thanks,
want you to
mate.
know that.
Appreciate it. Now you messaged me. Are you going to Boston, Michael Francis Barker?
Yes, well, for our honeymoon, I told you this. If you
Yes, you
listened to
did.
me,
I do listen to you, and you're looking for a recommendation. So I thought no
yeah,
better
hit
time than
me.
to discuss it live on air.
I
Now,
love it. I knew you weren't
what?
actually busy. You were saving it for the listeners.
Oh, God, no, I was actually busy. I was doing some stuff that I needed to do. I don't just sit around here and wait for you to ask me for advice on where to go in Boston. Although I'm ready.
Yeah, although I've got a bloody 10 word
I got it.
document.
Now, if I were you and Elise, the lovely Elise, I'd be staying in Central.
Okay, I'm gonna Google as we. So it's what is it just called Boston Central?
Central. It's like near the train station. It's
Oh,
just
South. South. What is this train station? South something. I was looking at it
South
today.
Station.
Yeah. Yup.
That would do it, wouldn't it?
South Station.
No.
Okay.
So
So the North
Central,
End.
Central. No, not the North End. Not the.
Ah,
Listen to what I'm saying. Central. It's near Somerville. It's just it's just the place to be, mate. Like it's just
okay.
out. You're close to Fenway Park. You're just over the Charles River. Sorry, you're close to MIT. It's easy to get everywhere, and you'll love it. Food. bars, restaurants, anything you possibly need within walking distance.
Wow, you've really okay. You've sold it very well.
And
So
there's a good
okay.
venue. I can hopefully get fucking sponsorship for this, but Sonder it's called. It's like a little apartment that you can book in. Again, lovely location.
As in,
I,
it's an Airbnb or a hotel?
it's a hotel, but it's kind of like got an Airbnb vibe to it.
Nice. Okay,
Yeah.
well, I'm going to just jot this down because we booked New York and Toronto today, but we're purposely leaving Boston off our list because I knew you'd give me something good.
Yeah, that's where I'd stay if I were you. I wouldn't
Sonder.
like somewhere around that area, Somerville, Cambridge. Those are the areas you want to stay. You don't want to be staying in Southie. It's difficult to get to and from. You won't
Okay.
like the vibe. It's all frat boys and gals living their
Fuck
24-year-old
'em.
lives. Um, South End, difficult to get to. North End, North End's nice, but again, like you're just in Little Italy essentially.
I,
And
I,
Boston City itself isn't that nice.
I
So,
tell you
and
what,
that's
I'm,
where the
I'm
North End
struggling to
is.
find Central.
So look up Cambridge.
Okay, Boston, Cambridge.
Yeah, it's right next to MIT.
Oh, it's a
Central might be
city.
the station. I'd say Cambridge is the suburb or town.
Okay.
Anyway, that's where you should stay. I'm not even going to
I
give
love
you.
it. No, I've written that down, so I'll just write Cambridge is where we should stay.
Yeah, it's a good
Okay, great.
area. Plenty to do there. But what are you going to do in Boston, Michael? Because I believe you're going at a time when there's not as many sports on.
Yeah,
There'll be some baseball.
what's really exciting is we've got nothing planned. So
Oh, beautiful.
no, I actually that came across a bit sarcastic, but we literally have not booked in anything, and that was what we sort of wanted, just to sort of, even if we literally book accommodation and don't have any major sort of things booked in, I think
Mm,
that's fun because I think you can overdo it when you travel.
I think so as well. And sometimes it's nice to just roam around and see where the day takes you. You might go for a
Exactly.
walk and just discover something pretty nice.
Exactly. So no, that you actually came quite prepared for that. So no, we'll go to Cambridge and enjoy Sonder.
Yeah, or anywhere around there. If you can get an Airbnb around that area, you're doing well.
Okay, great. Thank you. And listeners, if you've been to Boston, hey, chuck me recommendations, or New York, or I don't know, just plan the honeymoon for me, maybe.
Where are you staying in New York? That's a good question.
The hang on, I can tell you the whole hotel. No, I won't go there. It's just the middle of whatever the main.
Are you staying in like Times Square or Manhattan?
It's
Like
yeah,
Manhattan.
it's near Manhattan. Yeah,
Okay.
it's like it's in amongst. So we thought if we want to spend a bit more on any place and sort of live right near everything, it'd be New York. So we did that.
Yeah, fair enough. Um,
What's a
I'd
bit of
recommend
money?
I'd recommend going out to Brooklyn a bit. It's pretty nice
Scary.
out there. Scary for
Doesn't
what?
Brooklyn have that bad rap of being rough though?
No, it's
Oh,
completely gentrified now.
okay. I don't even know
Harlem,
what
I
that
think,
word
is
is.
it means when rich people move in and push the poor people out.
Oh, nice.
Go-
Major respect.
oh dear. Anyway, should we get onto some content?
Yeah, I mean, we could do a whole different episode just on chit chat.
I can't wait for you to take your microphone on your honeymoon so we can do a show.
Well, we'll be on such a roll. We've done 2 weeks in a row
I
that would be
know.
ashamed to stop. All right, you hit us first, Jules. What have you got?
Okay, so I've got a couple of ones here. I might go through the ones with actual visual examples first, and then maybe I've got a point of conversation that I would like
Great.
to bring up. So the first one, I think it's similar to what you were going to talk about, Barks. The NFL fixture dropped throughout the week.
Yes.
And there were some brilliant examples of some creative ways to release it. And I think this is something that we've discussed in the past of like, is it going too far, or like, are we putting too much effort into stuff like this? And then every time I see a really creative example, I'm like, nah, fuck, it's still a lot of fun, isn't it? Like, it's
Yeah.
the bringing it back to when we were talking before about like getting content and being creative. It's like, it is the one time of year you can be really creative because everyone's excited to see what games they can go to, who you're playing, like when you're playing people, and it causes discussion and it kind of reemerges or brings to the front of mind like the passion for the sport and all the good things about it. So um, this example that I brought is the Seattle Seahawks. It's a series of tweets, just a thread. I think it's what Elon's calling it these days. A nod,
I think that was before Elon.
a nod to our throwback uniforms making a return this season. Seattle's '90s albums as our opponents, a thread. So they've recreated like famous Seattle-based bands, and they're like CD covers with whoever they're playing, and just have added in like relevant images. I love this one. I think because it's something you can prepare in advance. And the way that they've dropped in the date is just kind of like the price sticker in the bottom right
Mm,
corner. Um, so you can have all your ideas ready to go, and then you just got to drop in a little bit of text, and it's quite easy.
yeah.
So again, love it. My favorite ones, of course, the Nirvana references. They've got the Nevermind cover as well as the Nirvana MTV acoustic cover. It's just brilliant. I think
Yeah.
it's a
That's
really
cool.
well executed um, bit of campaign. And the marketer in me also thinks like, hey, this is really cool because like, um, you can make these into like little t-shirts or little posters or something like
That's true.
that. And like it in itself is like a bespoke thing that, yeah, you can do.
Yeah. No, I like it. I wonder how they post it on Instagram. The 30-page carousel.
Yeah, maybe they just did a few of their favorites and then
Yeah.
like a link or whatever. Or maybe they did it as like a little GIF or something like that. I don't know. I
True.
saw it on Twitter. Didn't check. Probably should have.
No,
um,
that's fine.
so that's my first one. The second one I've got, hold on, let me just bring it up. Um, I- I'm always really amazed at like um, jobs in sport that you don't realize kind of exist,
Yeah.
but are really important. So this one is like someone who produces is the producer.
Oh, I've seen.
Have
Yeah,
you seen this one,
seen
Barks?
this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
who's the producer on the like a show, I guess, for like ESPN or something. Don't The sound is impressive, so have a quick listen here, and then we'll just have a discussion on the back of it.
It's pretty cool.
It's just like you'd have to have such like um, attention to detail, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
So really, for those just listening to the show, what you're seeing is a split screen of the producer down the bottom, who I'm not sure is his name, Jordan. Just Jordan is his username on TikTok. He's down in the bottom half, and it's him behind the scenes on the control panel with his like little producer mic, essentially directing the shot that we are seeing above, or the live what goes to TV with the TV presenter, the graphics, everything. It's just like it's very again, yeah. I think it's just like you don't realize this shit happens behind the scenes, and I love this
Yeah.
type of content.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. It's one of those, as you started off the talking about, you just don't really think that there's someone orchestrating it all. You just sort of think, oh, it happens. Maybe like, I don't know. I reckon nobody would really think about it.
Nah, yeah. You just really think like, oh, like surely there's not that level of detail going into every production that we're going like cut camera, zoom in,
Yeah.
graphic, like, but there is like, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Mine,
don't.
my,
Sorry.
my mind goes to like when people ask like a family thing about what you do and then you explain it to them. It almost sounds so ridiculously niche, like in a
Yes.
sense.
Yeah. You would just say like TV producer or something, wouldn't you? You wouldn't go into like
Yeah,
full
but like I
blown
mean,
detail.
there's always those over talkative family members that you'd get into that level of depth.
Me? Are you calling me over?
No, not you. Just somebody would. Sorry,
Oh,
you. You know how you speak in you. Never mind.
you, yeah, you.
Yeah.
What the other one I would really like to see though, just thinking of that, is the people that actually make all the graphics, um, and like little animations behind the scenes. Like TV
Like,
has so many of those like
yeah.
little things, and even on talking in sports sense, like on a broadcast, like all the little score graphics that come up, all the little animations that go in between, like the tail of the tape,
Mm,
that kind of stuff that gets done live-ish. I would love to see something like that behind the
yeah.
scenes.
Oh, I've got one. What about this should be like a segment by itself. If any listeners have these niche jobs they'd love to see behind the scenes. But like think like a 7 AFL commentary team where Brian Taylor, let's say, has the statistician or the
Mm,
historian in his ear, like, or their ear, like. So during a live game, I'm pretty sure any commentator can sort of ask for any fact or anything, any bit of
yeah,
info that somebody sitting in. I feel like they describe it like sitting behind the scenes in a truck. I'm sure it's not actually a truck, but
like
whatever.
a statistician or
Yeah, I struggle with
yeah,
that.
a statistician.
So just like a mic on this person
Mm.
in the back, basically giving, and if they literally just Google it or whether it's at their disposal of some sorts, I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, that's cool. You know who would have been great to ask about that? Um, Old friend of the show, Ethan Meldrum.
Oh, triple, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Shouts
Anyway,
Ethan.
yeah, hope he's well. Um,
if
n-
if any listeners have any niche jobs, I want to hear them.
yeah. Oh, within sports content though, like
Oh, sorry, yeah,
not
this
just
is
like
just
you you like dust
I make
frames at a
garage
museum or
handles.
something.
Yeah.
um, my last bit or one I wanted to talk to you about, Barks, and it's a bit
Good thing
without.
I'm on a podcast with you.
Yeah, thank God. Thank God you're here. I've got
That's
content I
funny.
want to talk about. Um, Bit without notice, but I've had a few things over the last couple of weeks that I haven't been completely sold on. So often, as a content producer
Ooh.
for a sports team, you don't just get to produce all the content you want all the time. Sometimes there's other stuff that you just kind of have to do. Um, and whether you disagree with it or not, like you just have to get through it and get it done. So, Bucks, I wanted to know in your time across like both Hoop City and Carlton and wherever else you've been, how do you get the most out of yourself on projects that you're not fully invested in?
I think this is a great topic of conversation. I feel like the only thing that I sort of resorted back to is you got to think about like the club first or Carlton first or Hoop City first. Like you got to try to separate your
Hmm.
views to what's beneficial to Hoop City or Carlton or your company you're working for. Like I think if you try to phrase it that way in your mind, like, okay, this is what I think, but is what person A who disagrees and maybe wants to do this project, even though I don't agree with, is that actually going to be good for Carlton? If the answer is yes, then you probably should just do it anyway. But I must admit, like I could have definitely been better at that, especially during the early days at Carlton, because it's hard. Like if you
Hmm.
want to, particularly if you've got a creative mind and you sort of want to do things differently, which sometimes I actually got caught doing that. I think like I sometimes thought, oh, this has been done, maybe we should do it a bit differently, but then that wasn't for the right reasons, if that makes sense, because it's not,
Yeah.
to do something different isn't the right reason.
Yes. Yeah. It's difference isn't a business objective always. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But
I
no,
get
I
what you
think
mean.
if you bring the priority of being Carlton first as real footy cliche
Mhm.
values as that is, it does help. But
Yeah.
what do you think?
Oh no, I agree. Like I think that's what I always come down to is like um my personal opinions are gonna disappear. Like sorry, the Carlton Football Club is gonna or whatever club or team organization you work with really are gonna exist far longer than my personal opinions on
Yeah.
some things. And to be honest, like what I always remind myself on is like, do I actually care that much, or am I just trying to have a
Yeah.
say because I
Yeah.
feel like I should be um, consulted or something like that?
Contributing almost.
Contributing, yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Um,
really good point.
I always find like a little bit of negotiation helps. Like if you can reach a middle ground, or you can just at least understand where the other person is coming from. So you can be like, all right, like I see that you're doing this for X, Y, and Z. I don't have a better solution for you. And if I did, it may not still be what you want. Like this is
Mm.
your call at the end of the day. All I can do is do the best I can. I
Yeah.
got to get
And
on with it and stop complaining and just push along.
yeah. I think if there's like you got to go back to a word I always like to think about is your purpose. Like if you're
Mm,
doing something, strip it back and just say, what's the point of doing this? What is the purpose? And you should have a pretty defined answer. And then if you don't, then that's when you need to figure out the answer before you figure out what you're actually doing. And
yeah.
to be honest, like that, oh, what's that printout of at Carlton we had that actually had our objectives? What's
Oh,
it
the
called?
strategic plan.
Yeah, like I know sometimes those things sound really like
Yeah.
I don't know. It
Wanky.
sounds too
Yeah.
corporate and wanky, but to be honest, like if you're stuck and you're not agreeing with it, pull it out of what the Carlton Football Club's actually trying to do, and if it relates to that strat plan, you're like, oh, this project actually does
Yeah.
go heavily into point A. Okay, even if
That's
I don't agree with it.
That's a very good point. It's like as clear as that can be, like or as wanky or whatever it might be, it does give you a clear like, well, I guess this relates to this thing that we're trying to do. Um,
Yeah, there's
yeah,
no, there's no like if that's what your company overall is saying this is what we're trying to achieve, there's no sort of gray area because you're like, okay, well this is what we're doing then, like
yeah.
that's what we want to do.
I think it's like one thing I was really bad at as a young content creator was like flying off the handle, um, and just getting really upset over shit that like didn't perhaps meet what I wanted to do, or um I thought was the best way to do it. And I think hopefully, like over over my journey, what I said, just keep asking why, so you can understand what it is
Yeah,
what you're trying to get at with anything. And like sometimes you're not going to win the battle, but you might win the war. Like do it one way, it might not perform as you expected, and then you can say, look, I've got a solution for this
mm,
that we might want to try this time. And again, you're not always going to get your way, but um yeah, I think it's just always you have to try and remind yourself that you're right, like there's a bigger purpose to some things.
yeah, and it's also a good reflection if you absolutely say, let's say you're leading this project that you don't actually like the idea behind this project and you absolutely nail the project or the campaign, and then it's really successful, and then you can use that as a example of like
Mhm.
it's almost like how you work. Like I nailed this brief even though I didn't agree with it at the start, and it
Yeah,
was really successful. So I can sort of let my personal feelings go to nail what the company wants to go. Like
so true.
it's a good like a resume piece almost.
Well, it's a good area of growth that like it shows that you
Yeah.
can work on stuff that you're not even that keen on, really.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
good discussion point. And listeners, if you've got any sort of, or maybe you've got an example, I mean, you might not be able to tell us in public, but
Yeah.
like any tips and tricks there, because it is a tricky one.
It is, and because like yeah, I'll wrap this up. But if there's like multiple people involved, like you don't want to shut someone else's work or ideas down all the time, do you? Like you need to be
No,
open to like yeah. Anyway,
because at the end of the
that's
day,
that.
only one idea is going to be the idea you go with.
Yeah, so true.
Nice one. That's the
Yeah,
end of you.
that's the end of me. I'm done. Finished. That's it for me forever.
God, that's sad. Um, so I want to just for my little party, I want to go back to. I'll start it off with. You can open the link if you
Yeah,
want.
I'll open this now.
So if you listened last week, all 21 of you, including Brad from Geelong, hey go
Not your
Brad.
dog.
He not my dog. So we spoke about quickly about oh fuck, I've just gone blank. What the hell we're talking about? Oh,
Vertical
sorry. So
videos.
vertical
Yeah.
vertical videos. The Dallas Mavericks put an ad out, basically specifying that it was a social media content producer for vertical videos only. And listeners, if you don't follow Jess Smith, go do it. We've talked
Oh
about her
yeah.
for a while. I just thought I actually just scrolled across this today or yesterday, and this is Jess Smith's sort of thoughts on what we're talking about last week. So she goes, please do not make titles like vertical platform manager a thing. Giving people title giving people titles based on an aspect ratio isn't it. Yes, shooting vertical is a skill, but platforms like TikTok are about so much more than that. It's about having a pulse on what people connect with. And then some of the comments are fairly interesting as well. Like I think were there only three?
I don't know.
Oh, sorry. One from Danielle, if you keep scrolling, is
Oh,
like,
sorry. Show more replies. Sorry, that's my bad.
that's all right. I've got it open as well.
Danielle.
I
Yep.
feel I feel like it's also pigeonholes people into only using those platforms and doesn't give them a chance to be more well rounded, which is probably what we sort of said last week. But I
Yep.
just thought that was interesting. Mainly a point to just go follow Jess Smith because she's a really interesting
Yeah.
follow.
Jess is great. My opinion on this, even though you didn't fucking ask.
Well, I thought we touched on it about last
No,
night.
I agree.
But God.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it as well. Giving a title based on aspect ratio, isn't it? It's about
Yeah.
it's about like what you're actually trying to achieve with that particular platform or whatever it might be.
Yeah, even if it essentially is vertical video only, don't just frame it like that because it's not really the point.
Yeah.
The second bit, so this sort of went a bit viral. Viral. So the NFL fixture launch, as you touched on in your content piece, the fixture went out this week, and the Tennessee Titans. We don't need to watch it, but basically they did a really successful piece of content for their fixture release, and what they did was they walked around a main city where they asked random people who clearly don't know anything about NFL to guess what the teams are based on their logos. So it show random people walking down the street just a bloody Falcon for an Atlanta Falcon, for example, and the people of the public who clearly aren't sport fans gave all sorts of weird and wonderful answers that were just very funny. Like one of them just guessed that the Atlanta Falcons logo looked like a red stallion, so then they put like round 9 versus the Red Stallions, and it was really funny. And the point to this, Jules, is that this wasn't done on your high production camera or your best quality camera. It was done on your phone.
Yeah.
The graphics that we used looked like they were out of paint. It was really relatable and not any fancy editing or anything like that. And I think it was a really good example to sort of show. We've talked about this a bit, but videos don't always have to be high production or use high quality equipment.
Yep.
Like I think on the flip side of this, the Miami Dolphins put together a really like amazingly high quality video for their schedule release, and I clicked through it and I wasn't interested at all, to be honest. Like it's just funny how that goes.
It's so true because it's like something like this captures your attention, and this is what you got to think of. Like the die-hard rusted on fans are going to know the fixture from like a document or like an article or something where a graphic of some sort where they can see it really quickly. This is to get the new fans, right? Like the ones that potentially aren't as interested, be like, fuck, this is quirky, this is fun, this is attention grabbing, entertaining. Like it's this is again, the fixture is such a good opportunity to do all these things because you can be as quirky as you want because it's not tied to anything. It's just like here's a really fun, fresh idea.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the overall point to this, it goes back to prove that it's not in the equipment that you use to sort of it's not in the execution of an idea. It is actually the idea that makes good content. So it's not like you can make an average idea really good based on how you execute it. That's how I see it anyway.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think this one there's how many ever NFL teams? This one stuck out really well. Like
a lot of people got around it.
Yeah. So good call.
A little bit of a early boss too. So the Atlanta Falcons that I just used as a reference, that they were called the Red Stallions, they changed their Twitter handle to Red Stallions, which I thought was quite funny.
Ooh, clever. Risky though. Who knows what Elon's going to do to your Twitter if you change it?
Just keep it.
Yeah, that's it. You're now the Red Stallions.
Sure, that would be funny.
Oh dear.
All right, that's all I had.
That's all you had now, Barks. It's time for our favorite segment.
Wow, how
Yeah.
clear and on time was that as
I
well? Your
know, for
internet must be
once,
on.
it's because we're in low data mode, my friend. Um,
Oh, wonderful.
do you wanna go first? Let me open this one up and we can have a look, hey?
Yes, this one was funny. This was sent in by a good friend, Strange, who knows
Oh,
where, but he
fucking
is
strange,
somewhere
hey?
in this world.
There's someone in this world
Traveling
just
for the job,
being an
listeners, just in
absolute
case.
peanut. Alright.
Problem. But this is in the world of F1, and this is it's not, the context doesn't matter, but they're basically talking to,
So we don't need the sound, sorry.
what's his, no. It's more what's happening in the background. So
Max
listeners,
Verstappen.
so they're talking about Max Verstappen to Russell. What's his first name? Someone Russell. But have a look at the background, Jules. There's a goddamn mirror behind it that you see the whole production crew looking at him and talking to him. Just pull down the mirror. That looks so stupid. So there's
Yeah.
this massive mirror in the background behind George Russell, that's his name, where you can see about
One,
two camera
two,
people, one
three.
interviewer, one person down the bottom just looking at him, and like, could you look any more less professional? I thought that
This
was really funny.
You know what this screams as well? This screams like fucking overhandling by the amount of people
Yeah.
that it's like, you
He's like
do
in a
not need 4 people there to do one interview, surely.
it doesn't even look like a high, like, important interview. It's like a casual one off to the side in
Yeah.
some meeting room. Like, just pull
Oh
down
my
the mirror.
goodness. Just move him. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking,
Rotate.
that's so bad. That is big egg. That's a good
Yep.
one.
Thanks.
Good
Well,
work, Strange.
strange.
Glad
Yeah.
he's here.
Finally
Um,
did something.
my turn. Barks,
You're on this.
I'm back onto I'm back onto
Remarkable.
this. You know what I'm going to bring up. I've been spending a bit of time on Facebook Marketplace. It's now become my favorite thing to do. I think I've topped last week's.
Okay.
Things you might buy on Facebook Marketplace: furniture, clothes, technology. I don't know, garden supplies, whatever it might be. Would you ever buy a beef lasagna?
there's so there's actually so many of these types of
I
examples.
know, they're just popping up.
$40.
$40 for beef lasagna on Facebook Marketplace. So it's not just one piece of lasagna, it's like a tray or something like that. But I'm just sitting there going like, who the fuck is scrolling through Marketplace and going like, oh, actually, you know what? It's a great. I would love a tray of beef lasagna right
Are there
now.
any comments? Oh, it's a
It's
screenshot.
just a
Never mind.
screenshot because I didn't want to dive into it, but oh my
Nah, keep
goodness.
bringing him in, Jules.
Yeah, I think this is going to be my new go-to for eggs of the week. I've got a few queued up, so we could go for days.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it might be a bit boring.
um, but if you have ever bought a beef lasagna off Facebook Marketplace, I would really like
Hit
to
us
hear
up.
from you. Hit us up.
What's
I
the
want to
weirdest
know.
thing you bought off Marketplace?
What's
Shoot
your
'em in.
weirdest marketplace experience? All
That's
right,
funny.
let's go to the next one. Hey,
Oh, that's loud. Wow.
take it away, Michael Barker.
That was really bloody good. My boss this week is Casey. So Casey,
Yeah,
if you don't know her, Casey Sims is her name. She's one of our very first, geez, I don't know, listeners. One of our biggest listeners, anyway. And she, amazing athletics photographer amongst other things. But I just wanted to shout out her because she is one of the most sort of helpful and friendly people over anything. So I think last week we touched on your back issues, which we'll get on to that, Jules, just
yep,
to see how you're going after that.
yep.
But she
Thanks.
straight away, I accidentally opened it, but she straight away sent like a 3-paragraph message into our DMs, basically helping Jules and giving him some tips for his back. Second part to that is I had a question for her yesterday, just camera nerd stuff, and she was just amazingly helpful straight away. Sent me multiple links. Just a big shout out to you, Casey. Thank you.
She is genuinely the nicest person, perhaps on the internet,
Besides
perhaps
me,
in
the internet.
entire world. Like, I,
Wow.
the advice she gave was actually like so good. It was like, do this, check this out, and of course, underlined with, oh, by the way, this is just my advice, not
Yeah.
not like
No,
professional medical
attachment.
doctor. Like, don't sue me. I'm like, don't worry, I'm not gonna sue you
But
for
still,
being so friendly. No, but it was really helpful because, like I was saying, a lot of the shit that you get scans on, you just don't fucking know, and you're like, oh,
it's so hard. Yeah.
yeah. But
Maybe it's a
no,
big
really
facade.
appreciate you, Casey. No, I don't think it would be a facade. Pull your head out your ass. I won't hear a bad word.
No, it's fair enough. How is your back?
Look,
Don't read any doctor reports. I was
I know,
listening
I
back to
won't,
it
I
last week. I'm like,
won't.
shut the fuck up, Jules.
Look, I have dropped my long distance running, so I'm just
Oh,
running shorter distances at the moment, 5 to about 10K. So we're playing within that space.
love
Played
how
footy
that's your shorter
yesterday.
distance.
Well, yeah, well, whatever. I played footy yesterday and pulled up fine, and then went for a bit of a trot this morning just to shake out the legs, and was fine as well. So I think that strategy's working, and might just push on with shorter distances and just slowly build back up until we feel cool again. Good again, not cool
Well,
again.
cool again. I thought
Cool
you said
again.
cool again. That's my only hope for this world, Jules, for you to feel cool.
Thank you.
This is sorry, I always segue to making it about me, but I told you I had a bit of back pain last week, didn't I? I actually saw the wonderful Chloe from Hoop City Physio, and
Chloe.
I got my first ever bit of acupuncture with the needles, just fucking shoving them in my
Oh,
back.
how did
It
that
was
go for
rather
you?
it was like a I don't know, like a weird sort of I sort of enjoyed it. It was all right. It wasn't painful, but yeah, my back's still a bit sore actually. So I don't know. Maybe we're sort of joined by the back. I don't know.
I think it's just old age, my friend. You've turned 30. Your back
As
just
soon
is
as
done.
well,
Yeah,
people say that, don't they? It's just an
it's true.
ongoing joke. As soon
Yeah.
as you turn 30, your back starts hurting one
Well,
morning when you wake
you
up.
also need to make more of an effort to stretch, I've heard. So
Yeah.
maybe consider
Okay.
that.
Yeah, a bit of movement. Anyway, I hope your back heals up quickly because we
Thanks.
need you back feeling cool again.
Cool again. My boss of the
That's
week
interesting.
is perhaps one of the greatest things I've seen in the AFL ever. So all players wear like little GPS trackers in the back of their Guernsey. And a player from North Melbourne has there must have been going back and forth with the opposition player. He just walks up, his name is Jai Simpkin, walks up to the opposition player, rips the GPS out from the back of his Guernsey and just throws it.
I rate it. That's so
like
petty.
it's so petty, and it's just like it's got to be one of the greatest things I've ever, because it doesn't hurt anyone really. Like
No.
it's not like he's going out there and punching someone or whatever it might be. He's just genuinely like being a menace, and you can't be angry about that, can you?
That's it. I'm imagine fining a player for that though.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
surely warn them or something.
surely just be like, mate, come on,
Yeah.
what are you doing? Pull your head in.
I really like that. You don't see enough of that stuff.
We need more of that, like that, and like
Unique trash talking or mocking, whatever it's called.
it's kind of like in the basketball when they're like lined up on the free throw line and you see someone try and undo someone's shoelaces.
Yes, yeah, that's a good reference. But that was actually I think J.R. Smith, former Cav Nick Denver Nugget, he was known for that.
Yeah, I again, it doesn't hurt anyone. It's just like mildly frustrating.
Yeah, exactly. No, good find.
Should we fight?
Nice.
Ready to fight?
Yeah, let's fight. Yeah, I like.
Now,
that your one says barks. This one will hurt you. So you
now,
start us off.
no, do you have anything? Because I really think
Oh,
this
you want
one's
to
gonna
save
hurt
it?
you.
You're
Yeah,
gonna hype it up.
yeah.
Mine's a bit of theme this week. So I honestly think schedule releases are boring, and I don't understand the interest in them. From a fan's perspective, I don't really get it.
We just fucking spent like 10 minutes talking about why they're
But to
interesting.
me, they're not interesting. I like the creativity, but I could care less who my team's playing. Is that weird?
But you don't. How many games do you go to a year?
Yeah, but it's still like.
So of course it doesn't matter to you. Like if
Do
you're
you
not
think
actually,
that's?
yeah,
But
because people start to fucking plan out their weekends and their lives around this sport, Michael.
well, it still relates to me. I still think they're boring. I think
Well,
schedule releases should just be a PDF.
oh, for fuck's sake!
No,
Everything we do should be a PDF then.
The PDF comment was just to try to fight you. But no, I do find them boring. I don't really find them. I don't think they should be like a big piece of content.
I think they should. It's a great way to like
Spend your
just
time elsewhere. Look at the
doing what?
strategic
Doing what, Michael?
plan. You tell me what the fixed release, which strategic plan?
Increase,
what is that?
Increase attendance to the games.
Oh,
Engage fans. Create a sense of FOMO. Like, fuck me. Increase ticket revenue. Like,
all
just
right, Jules.
pull your head out your ass.
Maybe I just wanted to fight you this week.
Nah,
got a
you know
reaction.
what? Now I don't even feel bad about doing this. Here we are.
Okay.
You ready to fight?
Yeah.
Now, Bucks, while I was scrolling through Facebook today, you can hear I'm angry about this.
Yeah, you're getting revved up.
I noticed that you had Facebook is just feeding me you content for some reason. I hope you're not still seeing the lasagna. Are you seeing what I've pulled up here? It's a screenshot from Pets Haven Animal Shelter.
About Todd?
Seeking an endless anti-companion. Look no further, Todd. So no problem with Todd. Todd is a great dog. I hope he finds a good home. Michael Barker, Elise, Reg, Brad, and Todd has a nice ring to it. Michael Francis Barker, you do not need another fucking dog. Your dogs are already enough trouble. I'm sorry.
I can't believe this is your controversial call. Your call is that I don't need another dog.
That you're actually considering getting another dog.
When I'm not. This is the thing we do. We just tag each other in cool-looking dogs. But how dare you?
How dare you?
Look at his face and tell me he does not want to be adopted by us.
He might want to be adopted, but he needs a fucking dentist first.
Todd Barker. How good does that sound?
Oh,
Todd
my
Barker.
God. Nah.
There's never too many dogs if a dog is in need, and clearly Todd is in need for a dentist and an owner.
I think they need an owner that isn't you. They don't need to be brought into that madhouse of Reg and Brad.
He'd love Brad.
Brad would try and hump him. Reg would piss on him, and then you just squirt. You just squirt a lease with the water bottle, and we'll call it a day.
That's an awful call, buddy.
Well, no, it's not an awful call.
I'm going to bring Elise into here.
Yeah, bring Elise in here. I'd fight anyone about this. It's stupid.
She was actually sitting in the background before, but she left because she didn't want to be there.
Yeah, fair
So,
enough.
Would have been 2 Barkers onto 1. But screw you.
Todd,
Todd, you hang in there, all right? Bud?
Yeah,
I'll get you.
Look, if anyone's looking for a dog, Todd does look like a lovely dog. He's very cute.
Nice, fat bulldog.
With underbite.
The horrible underbite.
Oh, dear. I told you it would upset you, didn't I? I wasn't lying.
It's more than me.
Well,
I'm actually usually the reasonable one saying we've got enough dogs, but Todd got me.
So there's not every chance. No, one of our friends.
We're not going to get a third dog here.
No. One of our friends is they're having some issues with allergies, and they've got 2 cats, and one of the options at the front of not the front of mine is like potentially rehousing the cats. And as soon as I told Marty that, well, there's 2 of them. There's 2 cats in this house, so it'd be 4 cats.
That's too much.
It's too much, and you couldn't split them up either. Like they love each other. These 2 cats, like they're so friendly.
Surely that'd be easy to give them to like not easy, but a new home. Like they don't need a home that already has 2 other pets.
How much would it break your heart doing that though? Like giving away your like animals. Like
can't they just have pills for allergies?
That's I'm not getting into that, but like that's their decision, and like I don't know what they've tried or whatever like before this. So I just thought like 4 cats, 2 humans. It's two cats to a per person. Yeah. It's a lot of boxes.
That's too much shit.
Yeah, that's a lot of shit and piss.
Yeah, and that's a good note to end this.
Yeah,
shit, piss filled pod.
Anyway, Bucks 2 weeks in a row. It's been a pleasure. Like honestly,
I've enjoyed it.
And I got a phone call as well this week. It was a bit of everything.
Yeah. I just got to make use of my long car trips. Pick up the phone, talk to Jules. Didn't pick up straight away, but
I called you back. Good. I always get worried when someone calls me because I'm like, oh shit, something's happened.
It's a real generation thing.
You're dead.
Why haven't they texted me?
Yeah, why didn't you just text me?
They're calling. They must be dead.
They must be dead. But no, it has been a pleasure. And friends of the show, we are still looking to highlight some more Aussie content creators. I do owe an extended apology to our friend from the AFL who...
do you want to talk about... So we had... we opened, well, when we went out with the pod. I think I'm not sure if it was the day of, but Liam from the AFL, he does a lot of wonderful graphics for the AFL, and he just put in a message into our inbox saying something along the lines about, boys, I'm hurt with that Tassie
Yeah,
brief. So he was the one who made the Tasmania new AFL team graphic that Jules went off on.
yeah, I
But no,
did.
he was good about it. It was quite funny.
I do have to apologize directly to Liam. I feel like I came into that too fired up, and it wasn't my intention. I was just getting really pissed off at these cinematic style graphics. So, Liam, I think you're doing a wonderful job. I really am a big fan of your work, and you did have big shoes to fill, and you've filled them. So, well done, mate. And thank you for listening to the show as well.
Yeah, and you know what? As we were talking I saw the messages back and forth. Liam nailed the brief because you're not you can't change the brief
No.
if you're being employed as yeah, probably from the sounds of it, someone that's in his position. You get a brief, you deliver it. So he nailed it. And I'm gonna just I'm gonna add this on. This is my dream, Jules. So we've had to apologize on our pod. We've offended people. We have to apologize. How good's that? Is that
It's
not
so
the
good. That means
top of the
people
top?
are listening.
Yeah.
Maybe each week we should just go out and pot someone, and then
Yeah.
and then we get
And
a new listener every week. Who are we going to pot?
An
The Cape Corns method.
An apology segment. It's
Yeah.
marketing.
But no, seriously, send through some Aussie content creators that we can highlight over the next few weeks, and yeah, I think it's a nice pay it forward thing. If you've been spoken about on the show, or you know, benefited from the show or whatever. Probably not benefited, but if you've been spoken about,
paying them,
yeah, if you've been spoken about on the show and want to pass on the credit to someone else or someone that you really love, the work that they're doing, it's a great chance for them.
Yeah.
Our 23 listeners now, including Liam, who's listening this week to see if he got potted again.
True.
But
well,
yes.
we'll assume he was already a listener.
Yeah, let's assume it.
Yeah, he's made a few other comments, but we're done here, Jules.
We're done
You have
here.
a bloody good night, all right?
You too, mate. Happy Mother's Day again to everyone. Look forward to talking to you again on Father's Day.
Why?
I don't know. Just thought I'd say it. Bye.
It's a fair way off. All right, see you, bro.